Alright, today is Monday, September 23rd, and I'm Josie, and this is Pages and Floss. So, hi, this is kind of my introduction to Series September, which I participated in. It's the 23rd, but I'm really happy with how many books I read for Series September, which is hosted by Krista from Books and Jams. And so let me get to my notes. My printer is still not working. So I wrote down the bingo board. And you're supposed to read a mystery, a historical fiction, a fantasy or sci-fi, a contemporary, a free space, a romance, a horror, a middle grade, and thriller. And you could interpret. Is that the right word? Yes, I think so. Any of the prompts that you wanted to, however you wanted to. And so you could do like horror, and if it was a series or not a series, and it was just a horrific time that you had this book on your shelf, then you could read it. And so, or any of the books. So I try to stay in a series as much as possible, and I think I did that. So, I made clips through this month of different books that I read, and so that's what you're going to see here. And so, I got 5 out of the 9 bingo slots, which I'll take that. And so, for mystery, I read Halloween Party by Agatha Christie. I believe it was number 32 or 33 of the series for Pyro. And thriller, I read R.L. Stine, New Girl, which is a Fear Street novel. And I think it was number 1 for the Fear Street series. Horror, It Watches at Night, which is a middle grade horror by Jeff Strand. And I did a review a few days ago on it. And contemporary, I did The Pumpkin Spice Cafe by Laurie Gilmore. And I also read it for another readathon, so I don't know, I might just talk about it a little bit, or I might just wait until the next little clips that I'm going to do for the next readathon. I don't know. And then I read Night of the Living Dummy, the first one, and it's number 7 in Goosebumps series. And so I think that is it for the introduction. So I'm just kind of doing clips, and well, I think I have a few more reviews I need to do, so I'll do those today, and then I will get this out soon. So I can't believe October is gone this fast, or September, and that it'll be October in a few days. Like, where did September go? So that's why I wanted to end it here, because I don't think I'm going to read any more for that particular readathon. So, like I said, very happy how this turned out, and here's my reviews. Alright, so this is my last video today. Today I've done a lot of filming. Oh my goodness. But I got the book, Agatha Christie, because I have been listening to it, but I also wanted to keep track of when it was published and and how many pages there are. So, this was written in 1969, and there is 216 pages. Okay, I really do like this copy, even though I didn't really read anything out of the physical book. So, it's an all black cover, which is really cool. And in the inside, it's really neat as well. Like, I think that's kind of fits the 60s, 70s vibe, I guess. So, yeah, it's really interesting. And they have, in this book, a list of cast of characters. So that was really helpful, because there's quite a bit of characters. I think there's like probably 30 characters. There's a lot. There's And that. And the only thing that is really weird, okay, and I know what it's about, but it's just kind of weird that it's not in the book, is there's no synopsis, like, whatsoever. So that was a little strange, but I guess you just went in totally blind. Because, yeah, I didn't find any. I thought maybe it was on the back for whatever wacko reason, but it wasn't. So anyway, this one is obviously about a Halloween party. And this is Pyro's Mystery, number 32. And so it's a Halloween party for kids and adults. So this little girl, Joyce, is saying, like, I saw a murder, and all the adults don't believe her at all. They think she's, cuckoo, you're making it up, what are you talking about? And she just gets dismissed, basically. And later, she is found in the apple bobbing game and dead. And so the lady has to call Pyro, and Pyro comes out and, obviously solves the case. So there's Leandra from Leandra's TBR is reading this one. And she was watching a video of somebody else's TBR game. And so that was one of her prompts she came up with, was to read Agatha Christie. And I'm like, series September is going on, and I'd really like to read another Pyro mystery. And so it kind of fit. And so this one is obviously for series September. And that's with Krista from Books and Jams. And so I am flying through that bingo board. I'll have to talk about that bingo board probably tomorrow. I'm getting tired. I've been on sprints a lot with Sarah, Stormy, and Tiffany. And so my dryer is still going, guys. But, yeah. So, I had an idea of who I thought it could be throughout, and I'm like, I don't know, sometimes I'm really off, sometimes I'm in the right direction, and then it just, bam, blows me out of the water. But this one I felt kind of stupid at the end, because it's like, oh yeah, duh, that kind of makes sense. But I just wasn't totally thinking of that clue at the time. I was like so involved in listening and cleaning while listening. I wasn't paying that much attention, I guess. I don't know. So, yeah, it's like, hello. So I totally missed the clues, and I was off a little bit. But I really did like this, and I just have a few more Pyros I wanted to get to. I have the big four, and I think that's the only Pyro one, and the brown suit. The man in the brown suit is it's not Pyro, and it's not Miss Marple, but I forget which one it is. So, I have those two that I would like to finish before the end of the year, but we'll see. So, this is 4 stars for me. I've heard like a lot of mixed reviews about it. So people didn't like it because it's written in the 60s and, but I didn't have a problem with it. Like, the only thing about listening to this book was like, sometimes I prefer a full cast instead of just somebody trying to do all the voices. Like, that kind of is kind of silly, and kind of like, it's really like not keeping me interested in the story. So that was a little hard at first, but then I got used to it. And the story, I'm sorry, The story was narrated by Hugh Fraser. So he does a lot of them, and I like how he does Pyro, but some of the other characters, not so much. But that's just a me thing, I think. And uh, overall, I had a great time with this. So, yeah. I have a finish. So, I just finished The New Girl by R.L. Stine. It's a Fear Street novel, and it's number 1. And I read a Fear Street before called Double Date. And I'll put the cover in. And it was number 22. And it's been a while since I read R.L. Stine. So I wanted to do another one. If you hear music, my dad has been singing. So I'm at my parents' right now. Tomorrow I'm going to Maywood to get some tests done. And I'm hoping I'm not too tired to vlog this weekend, but I might be. So, yeah. So I don't know what I'm going to read now, but I have a few options. I've been listening to Halloween Party. I've been listening to a few other things. So I'll pick something to take with me tomorrow. It's about a 2-hour drive. So I'm not really looking for the drive. And it's a huge hospital for the test, so it's a long day. The whole day is long. I'm exhausted afterwards. So, yeah, I'm not looking forward to the ride part. The tests are pretty easy, so that's at least good. But anyway, the new girl is as pale as a ghost, blonde and beautiful, and she seems to need him as much as he wants her. Corey Brooks hungers for Anna Corrin's kisses, drowns in her light blue eyes. He can't get her out of his mind. He has been losing sleep, ditching his friends, and everyone has noticed. Then, as suddenly as she came to Shadyside High, Anna disappears. To find a cure for his obsession, Corey must go to Anna's house on Fear Street, no matter what the consequences. Anna may be the love of his life, but finding out her secret might mean his death. This one, I thought I knew what was happening. I had no idea what was happening. So, I guessed a little bit of it correctly. I don't want to give it too much away, but Corey does become very obsessive with Anna and wants to know her address and her phone number and starts calling her. And through the phone call, the guy that answers says, "Nope, there's no Anna here. No Anna here. Quit calling," basically. And every time he calls, he threatens him with, "If you call anymore, you'll be dead too." And that's all I'm going to say about it. But it read so fast. It took a few days to read when I was finally focusing on just this book. It was so quick. And the story was great. I really love a YA. It's a thriller. So this is going for Krista from Book and Jam's series September. So I'm really happy to cross off one of her bingo slots. And I think that's pretty much it. So 4 stars. This was written in 1989. I believe it said. Yep, 1989. And it had 168 pages. Yep, 168 pages. So this was a really quick read. And that's it for me today. So hope to see everybody soon. Hey, good morning. I can't be on here very long, but I have a few options for the car ride today. The Turn the Red, and the Drawing of the Three by Stephen King. So we'll see what we get right. Maybe nothing, because that happens sometimes too. So, we'll see. I'll try and do something later. But it's really early right now. Okay, still in the car. It's the afternoon, finally out of the hospital. Woohoo! Tests were long. MRI took really long. EKG and stress test didn't take very long at all. But I had a breathing test too, and he couldn't get that breathing test thing to work. So, about a half hour later, it finally worked. So, I don't know if I'm going to read or not. Maybe. We had valet this time because they were having a thing. Oh, I did not put a bookmark. I've been taking the dust jacket off of this one and using that as a bookmark. So, I'm about 4% into this, and this book is so terrible. Okay, so I have another review for series September, which I read in middle grade, and it was the first Night of the Living Dummy. It follows Slappy, and so this is a collection that I had from the library. It was in the free section. So it has Night of the Living Dummy 1, 2, and 3 in this one. And so I wanted to read this for spooky season, and the audio 3 hours or so, 3 or 4 hours, and it's a great time. So this follows twins, Lindy and Chris, and I want to make sure that's correct. Yeah, Lindy and Chris Powell, and they are twins, and so they're 12, and they're just so annoyed with being copycats and being twins and liking everything that the other one likes. They want their own things, and so they kind of one-up each other in everything. And so their parents are like sick of them arguing all the time, and Lindy and Chris's mom goes to the supermarket, and she's like, you girls go do something other than fight, okay? Like, go figure out something to do. And so Lindy and Chris go, and while they're out, they come across Slappy. And one of the girls is like, oh my gosh, I have always wanted to do ventriloquist, be a ventriloquist and do that. And the other twin is like, ew, like, why would you pick that thing up? Why would you want that? And she's the one that wants it is like, I want this. It's coming home with me. I can really get some good laughs out of this. And they start playing with Slappy and voicing him and all the things. And the other twin is freaked out. Leave it here. Throw it in the dumpster, okay? Like, I don't want anything to do with this. And so Slappy comes home with the two of them. And the twin that wasn't interested is now interested in ventriloquism. I don't know words. I don't know. In being a ventriloquist. And the other twin is like, are you serious? Like, why are you copying me? Why do you always have to copy me? And sooner or later, they play pranks on each other with Slappy. And they kind of had enough of each other. Their parents are sick of every little occurrence blamed on Slappy, who, just is a dummy. And why are you bringing him into this? And it's just you girls, and you get it together. Or I'm taking the dummies away, and you guys are going to have absolutely nothing to do with each other right now. And so some stuff happens after that, and Slappy, obviously, they read the ancient language in his pocket, and things go from there. And all these books are kind of like 3 or 4 stars. They're fine. And the ending of this one, I was like, what? I kind of loved that. And it's in the weird horror way, I really liked that. I couldn't believe what I was reading. And I'm like, whoa, that got a little dark for a middle grade, but not too dark. And that was mind blowing for a middle grade horror. I really liked that. And so yeah, I really liked the ending. I gave it 4 stars. It was great. And so yeah, I had a great time with this. So I can't wait to read the other two. And yeah, I just had a great time with it.